Hi, Thomas Smiley here. Welcome back to T's Doghouse. Today we're going to talk about anxiety. Anxiety is one of those words that gets thrown around a lot, and it's hard to know what you mean when you talk about it because it can mean a lot of different things. But it is a word that gets thrown around a lot in society and definitely in the dog training world. We get a lot of phone calls about dogs that have anxiety. What we found is generally when somebody says their dog is experiencing anxiety, that means that they're interpreting by the actions of the dog that the dog might be fearful or nervous or worried, right? Things based around fear, and they're concerned about their dog. So we can't make a single video to encompass all of the different things that might be tied to anxiety. But we have figured out one thing, and that is that anxiety, or these fearful actions that a dog takes, the whining, the barking, the submissive behavior, just the generally worried behavior, it can greatly be alleviated by good leadership. So the first thing we always do when we have a dog situation that the owners are worried about anxiety is we make sure that all three lines of communication are strong, right? That we can communicate with our dog visually, verbally, and physically. That way we have the ability to give them leadership. And leadership is a great aid to anxiety. I remember when I was a young man, I was involved in a scout group, and we had a leadership training that we were sent to. And I remember being very anxious about this because I didn't know what was going to go on or what to expect. I was away from home. I was out of my comfort zone. And on the way to the training, my concerns got bigger and bigger, right? And I was feeling a lot of worried emotions. But when I got there, they quickly assigned us to another individual, young man, that was very familiar with the camp and what was going on. He'd been through it, he had done it, and he was there to help me along. And it was really amazing how fast those worried feelings left me when I had somebody to turn to that could give me some guidance or some leadership in the situation. So we find the same thing with the dogs. So we want you to watch this video that we've put together. The dog's name's Hazel, and she's a German Shepherd that came in for some training, and we actually used her in a good portion of our adult dog series. I think you'll enjoy watching her progress through her training and watching how her behaviors change as she receives leadership and accepts that leadership. So watch the video and we'll see you in a little bit. Is to Hazel. So some of you will deal with things like that where the dog's excitement and interest in other things outweigh the interest in food. Okay, we look forward to seeing you in more videos, and you'll see how Hazel changes as we continue. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Yes. Good. Good girl. How about that? So she has not taken a treat out of my hand in 2 days. I've spent time sitting in the chair trying to feed her one, and she has had no interest. But then I took just a few minutes to create a situation where I took over the leadership. I started giving her direction. She started looking at me because she needed to figure out where we were going. I rewarded that a little bit vocally, and then I offered her a food reward, and she took it. Here. So we're going to just maintain a loose leash. Here. Good. Sit. Good. Sit. Yes. Good. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed those video clips. we found it so interesting to see how much Hazel changed and how quickly she changed. We'd had her a couple days before we started the formal training. We'd shot some video of her on a walk, and we'd done some things there, a little bit of socializing with some of our dogs in the shop, and just letting her settle in. And during that time, she, her appetite had decreased, and you could tell that she was concerned about what was going on. But as soon as we started going through the obstacle course and giving her some leadership, she started to relax, and you saw that she quickly began taking treats out of my hand, which she hadn't done the 2 days previous. So leadership makes such a huge difference. But to be a great leader, we have to have the ability to communicate. Not only did we see a change in her during the, going through the training process, but when she came to us, as you saw in the video, she was very excitable on walks, and she would take that excitement and turn even a little aggressive to her housemate that we were walking with. Both those dogs lived in the same household from young dogs, and so she would take that out on him, and that was a concern, and she would get very, very excited barking at other dogs and other people on walks. But after we finished teaching those 3 lines of communication, creating the leadership, we went back out on those walks with very, very little disruption. She became a much calmer animal, easy to communicate with, and the couple times that she wanted to try to vocalize or something like that, then we could quickly guide her through it, and then those problems melted away, and she was able to go on walks without any problem. But that is all connected to the leadership, and leadership cannot be created without good lines of communication. So those are critical, and all the time we see things like Hazel. When dogs come in, we watch the fear and the concern and the worry just melt away as they receive leadership. It's actually why I think a lot of dogs have problems, is because they don't have good leadership. The people don't know what to do, and the dog doesn't know what to do either. So anyway, if you have any more questions about leadership or how you develop these 3 lines of communication with your dog and what it really means to show leadership to your dog so that your dog knows where it can look for that guidance and for its needs to be met and its dreams to come true, go look us up at teasdoghouse.com, and we've got a lot of different options for you on there, and I'm sure we can help you out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in a future video.